Hello, baseball fans. Welcome back to another complete series season playthrough using the New York Yankees. I'm excited because we are playing the New York Mets in the Subway Series. And let's get into this game straight away. There's your lineups. Your pitchers got Tyler McGill for the Mets and Marcus Stroman for the New York Yankees. And let's get right into the game. This is game number 88. I hope you guys liked the new thumbnail that we are using from this point on for a little while until I decide to change it again. All right, let's see what we got here. For the New York Mets, you've got Nimmo in left, Marte in center, Young in right field, Vientos at first base, McNeil at second, Lindor at short, Beatty at third base. Tyler McGill pitching to Alvarez. And that's your battery. McGill to Alvarez. McGill pitching to a 4.19 ERA with an 8-6 record, 34 walks, 45 earned runs, 96 strikeouts. And Volpe with a 304 average, 10 home runs, 36 RBIs. All right, let's get into this. Let me see first. Let me see. How's the volume? Oh, yeah, we got to get some volume. I like hearing the crowd noises. All right, the very first pitch is going to be to Anthony Volpe. We are here at Citi Field for this game. There's the first pitch of the game, and Anthony Volpe walks. So he is now at first base. Oswald Peraza coming to the plate. Volpe runs. He is safe at second base. So we now have a runner in scoring position. Oswald Peraza walks. This is so weird because I am playing a New York Mets playthrough. just doing that privately, not on camera. All right. Cody Bellinger coming to the plate. That's going to be a base hit. Not enough to score a run. So now the Yankees have the bases loaded. We have about half Mets fans, half Yankee fans in the stands. Here's Goldilocks with a golden opportunity for some RBIs. Does not. Oh, wait. He walks. And Tyler McGill is becoming unhinged. Here's A-bomb. Can he get a grand slam? Ground ball to third. The play is to second. We got a fielder's choice, and another run scores. Yankees lead 2-0. Here's Giancarlo Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton strikes out, so they are now 2 men away. Here's Ben Rice. Ben Rice pops it up deep to center. And that's going to go all the way to the wall. That will score at least 2. And the score is now 4-0. All right. Pitch to Pereira. Pereira walks. And the inning continues. Here's Pablo Reyes. Ground ball to short. And that's going to retire the side. The Yankees lead 4-0. Marcus Stroman pitching. Starling Marte at the plate. Here's your defense. Stanton at left. Bellinger in center. Pereira in right. Goldschmidt at first. Reyes at second. Volpe at short. Alec Boehm at third. And the battery is Stroman and Ben Rice. Marte hitting .293 on the year. Sorry about the noise in the background. I don't know if you hear it. That's the lawnmower outside. Here's Jeff McNeil. And I forgot to mention that Stroman is pitching to a 4.66 ERA, 7-5 record with 23 walks, 78 strikeouts. Here's the pitch to McNeil. Little ground ball to short. Can't be handled by the shortstop. So now we have a runner on first base to contend with, and Soto at the plate. Soto strikes out. Francisco Lindor. It's a ground ball. That retires the side. All right, we're now in the top of the second. Volpe coming back to the plate. Strike one, and 2, and 3. I meant to say 1 man out, not strike 1. Was that my first verbal miscue? Get the drinking game started. Every time I do a verbal miscue, you got to take a shot. That's a ground ball up the middle for Peraza. So he is now on first base with 1 man out. And here's Belly Laugh Bellinger. That's going to be a hit. I thought the runner was going to go to third, but he did not. All right, Goldilocks. Ground ball. And that's a double play. That retires the side. We're going to the bottom of the second. Here's Mark Vientos. Vientos with a base hit down the line. That's going to be 2. He's on second base with nobody out. And Brandon Nimmo. Fly ball to right. 1 man out. Francisco Alvarez. 2 men away. Jared Young. That retires the side. Top of the third. Second miscue. Take a shot. Alec Baum. 1 away. Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton. He strikes out. And Ben Rice. Ben Rice strikes out so far. All of the runs coming in the first inning there, right there. Okay, the pitch to Brett Beatty. That's going to be a base hit. Here's Starling Marte. Marte strikes out. Jeff McNeil. Pop up. And caught. Bottom of the third, Juan Soto with 2 outs. He gets on base. And Francisco Lindor. 2 men out. 2 men on. And Lindor strikes out. The Yankees get out of it. Top of the fourth, 4-0, New York. See what I did there? New York leads 4-0. I can say that all day and I'll still be correct. 1 man down. Here's Reyes. He strikes out. 2 men away. And Volpe. Volpe flies it to left field, and that retires the side. Batting here in the bottom of the fourth is Vientos, Nimmo, and Alvarez. The law offices of Vientos, Nimmo, and Alvarez. That's booted by Baum. That was a Baum boot. Base hit for Brandon Nimmo. Runners on first and second. There's no one out. And the Mets starting to get something here going. That's going to be a base hit through the left field. And it's booted by the left fielder out there. Look, he's running it down. 1 run scores on that play. Here's Jared Young. Jared Young strikes out. 1 man away. That's the first out of the inning. Here's Beatty. Beatty with a fly ball to center. The runner from third is going to try to score, and he does. The lead is now cut in half. Here's Marte. Marte strikes out. Top of the fifth, Oswald Peraza. Fly ball to center. Will that hit the wall? Yep. Peraza at second base, going for 3. He's going to make it with a leadoff triple. All right, Cody Bellinger coming to the plate. That was a line shot. Hard hit ball. McNeil dove for it, but couldn't make the play. Belly laugh and first. On first. For Goldilocks. Goldilocks with a base hit down the right field line. Not the right field line. I guess it's just a base hit to right. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Here's Alec Baum. Alec Baum with another. All right, does that ball have butter on it? Bases are loaded. Nobody out. Giancarlo with a golden opportunity for some major ribbage. He strikes out. Here's Ben Rice. Ben Rice walks in a run, and the score is now 6-2. Everson Pereira. Deep fly ball to right center. Right center. Miscue, take a shot. That's going to score a few. That's a bases clearing triple. It looks like Everson Pereira was injured and the trainer examines his left knee. I guess it got cut off here. It looks like Everson Pereira was injured on the play. And they have to take him out of the ball game. So he is out of the ball game. Judge comes in. It was his day off, but I guess not. He's got to come to play. All right, Reyes. That's caught. Judges. What is happening? Why did he throw it over there? Oh, well, we're winning. 10-2. I'll take it. Volpe. Volpe strikes out. That retires the side. Bottom of the fifth. Here's McNeil. Here's the pitch to McNeil. That's going to be a base hit. Juan Soto with one man on. No one out. Lined out. And he's doubled off. 2 men away. McNeil, that is. Lindor. That's a high pop-up in the infield. Coming in as the shortstop. And that retires the side. Top of the sixth inning. Here is Oswald Peraza. Ground ball. And that went through. Cody Belly Laugh Bellinger. One man away. Goldilocks. He gets hit by the pitch. He gets plunked in the buttocks. Alec Baum. Baum strikes out. First and second, 2 men away. The runners run. The runners go. That retires the side. Bottom of the sixth, here's Mark Vientos. Every time I hear the name Mark Vientos, it reminds me of the Mentos jingle commercial. That's a home run for Vientos. The score is now 10-3. Here's Nemo. The cruise ship is docking. That's what that sounds like. Leiter Jr. coming in to pitch. Mark Leiter Jr. Alvarez to the plate. It got quiet after that home run. Is that another home run? Yeah, Alvarez just hits another home run. It is now 10-4, and the cruise ship comes into the docks. Jared Young, fireworks in the daytime. Are we going to get back-to-back-to-back home runs? We do. 10-5. Here's Brett Beatty. Beatty strikes out for the second out of the inning. Here's Marte. Marte strikes out, but the Mets hit a few bombs and have cut the lead in half. Here in the top of the seventh, we have Ben Rice. Pretty quiet in the stadium after those 3 home runs. You'd think the crowd would be more lively. I think there's more Yankee fans than Mets fans in this crowd. Here comes the judge. He grounds to short. 2 men away. Pablo Reyes. Strike three. That retires the side. All right, let's check the out-of-town scoreboard, see what Baltimore is doing and Toronto. All right, so Baltimore starts at 7, so no score, obviously. Captain Obvious over here. Where's Toronto? We got some finals. Chicago beats St. Louis 3-0. Philadelphia beats Cincinnati 9-6. Boston over Washington 4-2. These games here have not started. Neither have these. So let's see what we got. Minnesota leading Tampa Bay 4-1 in the fourth. Miami have not started, and neither has Texas San Diego. Seattle leading Pittsburgh in the sixth. They're in Seattle. And that's your out-of-town scoreboard. Brought to you by Cardona Studios. Jeff McNeil to the plate. Here in the bottom of the seventh inning. Ground ball to short. To throw the first one man down. Juan Soto. Okay, runner on first. Here's Lindor. Lindor walks. All right, guys, come on. You have a 10-5 lead. Don't blow it. Here's Vientos with his Mentos commercial jingle. Mentos all night. Mentos. One run scores. It's now 10-6. So we're going to blow this game. Here's Nimmo. Nimmo walks. Bases are loaded. One man out. This game is no longer a cakewalk as Alvarez gets a grand slam home run. And the game is tied 10-10. I can't believe my eyes. Jared Young coming to the plate. The Mets are not playing this well in my actual Mets simulation. They're in third place in the division. And they're not even in the wild card as of yet. All right, here's Brett Beatty with 2 outs, nobody on. The Mets should play like this in my simulation. Here's Marte. Marte with a base hit. Runners at first and second. Here's McNeil. McNeil strikes out. So the score is now tied. This is anyone's ball game. Here's Volpe coming to the plate. All right, we need some runners, guys. One man away. Oswald Peraza. Two men away, and Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger gets a base hit, and Goldilocks. Come on, Goldie. Belly runs. Belly is safe. Goldschmidt. That retires the side. Now batting Juan Soto, bottom of the 8th inning. Scores tied 10-10. Soto flies out to right. One man out. Lindor. That's booted by the shortstop. By the second baseman. Missed cue number 4. Take a shot. Here's Vientos. Ground ball to third. Throw to first. 2 men away, and Brandon Nimmo. Brandon Nimmo strikes out. So now the Yankees come up to bat at the top of the 9th inning. Gotta score some runs, guys. Come on. Score some runs. One man out. Here's Stanton. Two men away. And Ben Rice. Rice strikes out. Going to the bottom of the 9th. Alvarez. Alvarez strikes out. Jared Young. Two men away, and Brett Beatty. Brett Beatty gets a base hit. Starling Marte. Flies to center, and we're doing some overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Top of the 10th. Here comes the judge. He gets intentionally walked. Pablo Reyes. He bunts. That's going to move the runners up to second and third. Anthony Volpe. Volpe strikes out. Come on, Peraza, don't blow this. We almost could have scored, but we didn't. We had runners on second and third and one out. All right, here's McNeil. Somebody's going to bunt, I think. They like to copy us. McNeil strikes out, one out. Juan Soto, I would walk him. Yep. First and second. Here's Lindor. What a play. Let's check that one. And he picks him off. That was a good play. Let's check out that Super Stats replay brought to you by Cardona Studios. Cody Bellinger pops out. Here's Goldilocks. We're in the top of the 11th inning. 2 men away, and Alec Baum. Okay, no score in that inning. Let's go. Warren pitching for the Yanks. York Yankees at the plate. That's going to get through. That's going to score a run, and that's going to retire the game. We had a 10-run lead, and we weren't able to win. Let's see how this affects us. Let me show you the game score. I'm going to go down to see the batting line score there. And the pitching line score. Let's go to the standings to see what has happened. All right, so we're still in first place. Let's finish today. Any news? Wow, I can't believe our pitching gave up. Well, their pitching gave up as well. So, all right. Let's see, Oppenheimer. Yeah, that was the email from the Mets game. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let's go back to the standings so you can take a look at the standings, see where your team is, and we'll see you on the next video.